Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome to my Planet Zoo Aquatic Pack DLC, kind of first look, overview, review, whatever you want to call it. We're basically just going to kind of take a deep dive into everything that is in the Aquatic Pack, as well as some of the stuff that's in as part of the free update that you get just by owning the game. You don't have to have the Aquatic Pack DLC to own it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So I made myself a little mini zoo here that I like to do whenever new DLC comes out, just to kind of showcase everything that we have. And so we have some new like scenery stuff here. We have a really cool barn and another just little tower there. And I just kind of placed around some of the like new plants and everything. And we'll take a look at, here's the new exhibit for the Diamondback terrapin, which is a turtle. And see if we can find one of these guys. These guys like to swim around and be really chill. There's one right on the log. Oh, there's two of them right there. Check out those guys. I love the color of their skin and their shells. That's super cool. Frontier Planet Zoo actually posted a little fact about these guys and the rings on their shell, and they actually develop more rings the older they get, kind of like a tree. Like when you cut a tree and it has rings in it, the more rings it has, the older it is. So I thought that was really cool. But I love the spots and everything on these guys. They have some pretty gnarly claws too. Check those out. Wouldn't want to mess with those. Yeah, these guys are super cool. This is a new exhibit for them. I love it. This shell right here is also a new blueprint included with the pack as well. Also, you can see this is the new path. I love it. It's it has a water vibe, kind of like bubbly water. This is very, very cool. But then, yeah, right to the animals. And so I was saying, I've been saying that this is the first pack where I've been more excited about the animals than I have been the building pieces. I've always been excited for the animals, and because they're always really, really well done and everything, but being that I like to do really detailed builds and stuff, the building pieces were always still the biggest draw for me. But yeah, this pack is so good. Just look at the animations of these guys. This is the giant otter, and they just look so good. And the coolest thing about this pack is just the new mechanics that have been added to the game. The whole new swimming mechanic, the dive mechanic. And I know a lot of people, when Frontier announced the free update that includes the underwater feeder, which you can see right there, a lot of people were like, oh, are they only going to go underwater when they feed, and then the rest of the time they're just going to swim, kind of right at the water level? Well, as you can see, they are absolutely just swimming underwater, and it just looks so, so good. I'm ridiculously excited about this pack. And all the little bubbles that kind of come off of them as they swim around. When we get to the king penguins, that looks really cool too, as the penguins can swim around pretty fast. And then if we move on to our little mini zoo here, so I have the seals right here, and oh my god, the seals. So I don't know if anybody's been to San Francisco, but they have a pier over there with a bunch of these wooden platforms that the seals love to just lay on and sleep. That's what they do. And the fact that they're doing that in the game it's just so awesome. I'm so excited about this. Also, I just want to point out the level of detail in the wood on these platforms. Look at that. It even looks like it's kind of wet over here. All the nails and just all the little cracks and grooves. Also, they make their little seal noises, and it's freaking fantastic. Just look at that guy. He's just Being all sleepy and lazy. That's what they do. Oh, look at him. Just look at that face. Look at that face. Ugh, can't stand it. And of course, the seals swimming animation is also very, very good. They love to swim. And that's another thing that I really love is it's not just like, oh, occasionally they go in the water and they swim around. It's like, no, they are in the water like all the time. And that's so awesome because that's what you want to see in a pack like this with animals that do swim, is you want to see them swimming around all the time. And I mean, you can just see they're all swimming around. Oh, he just did like a little torpedo move. What was that? That's so cool. Oh, and they kind of just hang out with their heads up. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, you guys. And you watch them like getting up on the platform. Oh, there you go, buddy. There he goes. And like, I love the animals like when they're still kind of wet, like just the shine on their fur and everything. That's something that's always been really good about this game. No matter what animals, like if they were in the water and they get out, like their fur is always just like glistening and shiny. Oh, he's getting on his back. There he goes. He's ready. I mean, I tell you what, swimming wears you out. And we head on over here further. And as you can see, here is one of the new Animal Talks podiums, which we will take a look at in a little bit. But first, let's look at these penguins. Look at the king penguins. Oh, they're so good. They look so good. And of course, the penguin swimming animation is so good. Also, like I told you, see how like all the little bubbles that come off of them because they swim really fast. They're very speedy swimmers. But oh, watch your neck there, dude. He's kind of swimming around so fast he almost broke his neck. But yeah, the penguins are so amazing. They're like little torpedoes swimming around, having a good old time. And one of the best parts about this, I'm really looking forward to, pretty much with all of the animals, is doing like really big, complex underwater viewing areas. Because, you know, there's so many tricks that everybody knows now. You can do viewing areas on the sides. You can do them underneath. You can do the underwater tunnels. Oh, man. Can you imagine underwater tunnels with the penguins swimming around you? It's going to be so good. And not to be outdone is the Dwarf Cayman. It's actually called the, not quite sure how you say that, Cuvier's Dwarf Cayman? I'm not honestly sure. We'll just call it the Dwarf Cayman or Cayman for short because it's easier to say. But these guys are awesome. I love the detailing on these guys. Love seeing them swim around like this. They're tiny and they're menacing looking. I mean, look at those teeth. They're small, but they look like they would hurt you pretty bad. But again, just the level of detail. Look at this. Like on their jaw and then just like the scales on their body. Frontier have really outdone themselves. It's just so good looking. I can't even take it, you guys. And with like the sun, oh, there's a good look. It's got like a cool kind of like burnt, maybe like reddish brown color to them. Oh, it's so good. To go along with the new deep water swimming mechanic, there's this new deep water requirement, which the aquatic animals have, which you can see here in the Zoopedia. You can also see here when you're viewing an animal, it'll let you know if the depth of the habitat meets their requirement. At the time of this recording, the Aquatic Pack animals are currently the only animals that utilize the deep water swimming mechanic. However, a developer journal confirmed that the saltwater crocodile will be the first animal from the base game to get the new deep water swimming mechanic. So I imagine over time, other animals that like water will be using the deep water swimming mechanic. And then the other thing is, a lot of people were wondering, in the screenshots and even in the trailer, the water was clearly a different color. And a lot of people, including myself, were wondering if there was going to be a new type of water. And the answer is no. They just updated the way it looks. Yeah, so I honestly think it looks a lot better. It's got a little bit of like a greenish blue tint to it. And yeah, it looks really good. So one of the coolest new features that came about, it's actually part of the free update, the 1.4 update. So you don't have to have the Aquatic Pack to have this, is the new animal talks. And it works very similar to the education boards and the speakers. When you place it near a habitat, you can just select. It usually will have the closest habitat first, so you can select king penguin. You can set the time. So during, for instance, the whole month of August, it is January right now, so let's go to February. And then that also means there's a new staff person. So if we go to staff, all the way over here is the educator. And I already have one hired, so we selected the month, so she's standing there getting ready to give an animal talk about the king penguins. And you can assign work rosters, and you can manage them. There's a new education menu. You can open and close it if you want. You can set the timetable from here. It also shows you how many guests are watching it. And there we go. I love how it actually sounds like her voice is coming out of the speakers. She's got a little microphone. And they can do other things as well. It probably isn't close enough here, but if you have them close enough to a habitat, they can actually throw food into the habitat. Sometimes, if the animal is not too shy, the animals will actually come up to like the barrier, like if you had a glass barrier or something like that, and kind of inspect what's going on. It's very, very cool addition. And like I said, that comes with the 1.4 update. That's completely free. So if you already own the game, you already have it. And then finally, let's get to all the building pieces, because I know this is also a very important part of every DLC. And as you can see, there's a lot of pieces. It's the typical, it's 170 plus building pieces. And there's a lot of similar pieces that we've seen before, just new versions of those, but there's also a ton of new stuff. There's lots of new signs, which I'm really, really happy to see. We have like this really cool curved panel here. We have a kind of a more flat version of it. We have signs for all the new animals, and there's 2 versions of those as well. We have some new tree branch pieces here. These are actually called Aquatic Faux Rock Tree. That's tree trunk, tree root, and those are tree branches. And you'll see in a minute why they're called Faux Rocks. We also have a bunch of new statues, which I love to see. I feel like that's kind of the one thing missing in like the base game, is just not enough statues of the animals. So we got a bunch of statues for each animal in the pack. So there we go. We have the Dwarf Cayman right there. We have the bronze and concrete version. We have the otters. The otters, actually, I feel like the Cayman got kind of left out, but because they only have 4 statues, but like the otters, they have 6 versions, a bronze and a cement version. I forgot to place the cement version of this guy. Same with the seals and the penguins. We have these little guys. I know everybody spotted these guys in like the trailers and screenshots and thought maybe it was a new bird in the game, but it's just like a little statue. Looks like a little wooden bird statue. We have the railings, which these are actually part of the new path. And I love that they included them as an extra option so you can place them around your zoo. Because it is a really cool looking railing. Of course, there's a new light as well, which is looking really good. And the light is flexi color as well, so you can change the light. One thing that's new is these murals, which is really cool. And we have like snowy versions back here. We have like different sizes and curves. We also have ones that you can place on wall pieces. So they're the exact same shape that they just go over them very nicely like. There's also a jungle version. There's also the new painted slate roof pieces. Those are very cool, very colorful. They're also flexi color, which is important for if you're like me, you like to do lots of building and you like to have as many options as possible, which includes being able to change the colors. We have a new wood building set as well. And it's all the typical pieces that you would see. It looks very good. Also, of course, they're all flexi color as well. And for nature pieces, so everybody noticed these in the trailers and screenshots right away. We have new Faux Rocks, which I think is really fun. And there is a ton of potential using these rocks for different things. And the coolest thing is their flexi color. So we have flexi color rocks in the game, you guys. How freaking cool is that? So if you want to make like a dark purple or yellow rock or like a super neon purple rock, you can do it. So just a crazy amount of potential with these. They're all flexi color and I honestly can't wait to use this. You guys know how much I love placing rocks. It's like the most relaxing part of the game. And the fact that we have a whole brand new set of them is just amazing. I'm so excited for those. There's also some new plants as well. We have the giant rhubarb. We have the lipstick palm tree. The ponytail palm tree. We have the Titan arum. Probably said that wrong. And then we have some new underwater plants as well, which go well with, you know, because we have lots of animals that like underwater now. So we had the underwater hydrilla plant and I don't know how to say that, so I'm not going to try and butcher it. They also included a new blueprint of rocks. They're just the regular tiger rocks, but it's a blueprint. I think it's new. I don't recall ever seeing that. I could be completely wrong. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. As far as habitat pieces go, so we have some new like blueprints here of the platforms that you saw I had used in the seal habitat. We do have a new barrier type right here. So this barrier is pretty sweet. This is the thick glass. It's grade 4, transparent, not climbable, watertight. So I think they had created this using the new aquatic animals in mind. There's also a new glass door. So if you have a transport ride going through a habitat, as well as a new glass staff door into your habitat. There's also this. So this is kind of an idea of what you can do with the new Faux Rocks. So these are all the new Faux Rocks. This is actually just a blueprint that they made. It's included, but I thought it was worth showing because it just shows you what you can do with the new Faux Rocks. And then just some other habitat pieces. We have a couple enrichment items. We all saw these in the trailers. Some little platforms for your animals to hang out on. Another new mechanic in the game is the new water temperature regulator. So it looks exactly like the water treatment facility, just a different color. But this will actually, you can control the temperature of the water in your habitats, which is something the community has wanted for the longest time, and we're finally getting it, which is super cool. I did forget to show we have some new lights. I like these a lot. I see myself using these lights all the time. They are just they look really good. Those are some really nice lights. We also have these new planted wood panels. So these would look really good. You'd place them on top of buildings or even on the sides of a building would look really cool. We do have some new effects, which are the underwater bubbles right here. So there's 3 kinds, a large, medium, and small version. It just helps add that little extra touch in your underwater viewing areas. We also got a whole bunch of new sign fonts, and I didn't go and place all of them down because there's a lot. But I'm super excited about this because we've only ever had the one font. So we got some new fonts. We also have 3D versions of them as well. So they're basically just like a thicker version of it. It looks more 3D. It's very cool. Super happy about that. But look at all the new fonts we got. It's so cool. And then last but not least, and I intentionally left these for last because I was not expecting them, and something I didn't realize I needed, and I'm so glad that they added. That is these 3 new waterfall pieces. And they're just called Waterfall Cliff Formations. And really, I mean, this really opens up waterfall creations in the game. It's basically like the waterfall effects, but they made it really simple so we can just place them right on the edge of a cliff and we have a waterfall right away. They blend together really well so you can create like double waterfalls. You know, you can do things with the terrain and rocks to kind of cover up the sides there. But honestly, like, I didn't even know I wanted this until I saw it. To kind of give you an idea about what you can do with them. So this is an example right here. This is where those pieces are being used. And it just looks a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner. You don't have to worry about, you know, trying to hide the lip of like the terrain, you know, how you have to do now to kind of create that waterfall effect. Yeah, so just I'm super happy they added that, and it just makes those look so much cleaner. There's of course new ambient effects and music as well. We have the underwater ambient effect. And we have By the Beach. I love that. That's very relaxing. That sounds like a sound machine. I want that just when I go to sleep at night. And of course, can't forget the music. It's the unsung hero of not only this game, but any DLC, in my opinion. Bunch of new music, Coral Reef, Marine Dream, Seagrass Meadows, and Current Situation. So yeah, lots of good music there. Definitely, like I said, one of the unsung heroes of the Planet franchise is the music. So there you go, you guys. There is kind of a first look, overview, review, whatever you want to call it, of the new Aquatic Pack DLC. And I am so excited about it. I hope you guys are. I want to know in the comments, which animal are you most excited about? Which animal do you plan on making a habitat for first? Are you excited about the animal talks? Lots of potential there. And yeah, it's just, there's so much good stuff in this pack that it's gonna be awesome. So much potential with, like, you know, the creativity of the community and the way that people have figured out how you can do different underwater viewing areas. It's gonna be good, you guys. It's gonna be really good. If you're watching this and you're new to the channel, I do stream Planet Zoo every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if you want to hang out with us as we build in our own zoo, which is called Aurora Zoo, we would love to have you. We'll be working with the Aquatic Pack for quite a while. So you know, the link is always in the description below. Head on over, give the channel a follow, and we would love to spend time with you in Planet Zoo live as we're building. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here, and like I said, I want to know what you guys feel about the pack. Are you happy about it? Are you excited? I want to know all the things. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know. And as always, be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.